Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Putnam County's observation of the 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks on our country. We are also live streaming from Cornerstone Park in Carmel, New York. In the event there are some technical difficulties with the live stream, the ceremony will be available afterwards on the Putnam County website. I present to you Stephen P. Driscoll Memorial Pipe Band. That's fine. If everyone would please rise for the presentation of our colors by the Putnam County Civil Air Patrol. Please join the Brewster Tribute Singers in our national anthem.
Detail and salute!
Detail and salute!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Detail, recover.
Detail, recover.
At this time, please join Putnam County Acting Sheriff Brian Hess in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Detail, and salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all.
Detail, recover.
Thank you, Sheriff. At this time, I would like to introduce Rabbi Avi Karor of the Chabad of Putnam County will now lead us in our opening prayer. Rabbi?
My dear friends and neighbors, I will never forget September 11th, 2001. That morning, I was a young rabbinical student in Brooklyn. I remember how the day began like any other. Clear skies, crisp air, the kind of September morning that made you breathe a little deeper. Then in an instant, the world changed. We heard the news. A plane had struck the Twin Towers. I ran to the roof of our building in Crown Heights. From there, I saw it with my own eyes. Smoke pouring into the perfect blue sky. Sirens echoing through the city. People staring upward in disbelief. And then, the unthinkable. The towers, symbols of strength and pride, crumbling into dust before us. I remember the silence that followed. It wasn't just quiet. It was the silence of shock, of grief, too deep for words. Even as I watched, I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. And even now, over 2 decades later, I still cannot comprehend how such a tragedy could occur. And so today we turn to God in prayer. We ask, O Lord, how long must humanity suffer from hatred and violence? How long until the tears of every family are wiped away? How long until we see a world of peace, of healing, of redemption? But, dear God, even as we ask these questions, we affirm a truth. Evil will not have the last word. Darkness cannot extinguish light. Goodness will overpower evil. Acts of terror may shake us, but they cannot destroy our spirit, our faith, or our determination to build a better world. Lord, you taught us through your great prophets to pray for the coming of Mashiach, the time when nation will no longer lift up sword against nation, when tears will be wiped away from every face, when the world will finally be filled with the knowledge of God as the waters cover the sea. Eternal God, source of comfort and peace, we gather here in memory of those we lost on that dark day. We honor the courage of the first responders, the resilience of survivors, and the strength of the families who carry grief in their hearts. We ask you to grant comfort to those who mourn, healing to those who still suffer, and strength to all who continue to rebuild. Bless this gathering, bless this community, and bless our nation. May the memory of the lives lost on September 11th always inspire us to bring more light into this world, more kindness to our neighbors, and more faith in your promise of redemption. And may we merit speedily in our days the time of true peace. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to call on Thomas Fury, who will read our list of dignitaries.
Good evening. Representing Congressman Michael Lawler, Aaron Crowley, State Assemblyman Matt Slater, Supreme Court, Honorable Anthony Mollet, from Putnam County, County Executive Kevin Byrne, Chair of Legislature Amy Sage, Legislator Aaron Crowley, Legislator Dan Birmingham, Legislator Laura Russo, Acting Sheriff Brian Hess, and Putnam County Clerk Mike Bartolotti. From the Town of Carmel, Town Councilman Robert Kearns, Chief of Police Anthony Hoffman. From the Town of Kent, Supervisor Jamie McGlasson, Councilman Yorma Tompori, Councilman Sean Boyd. Representing Kent Police, Lieutenant Alex Vanderwood. From the Town of Patterson, Councilman Joseph Esposito. From the Town of Putt Valley, Supervisor Jackie Anabi, Town Board Christopher Russo. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I would like to introduce our keynote speaker this evening, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and CEO of Guardian Revival, Aaron Leonard.
Good evening. On September 11th, 2001, nearly 3,000 lives were taken from us. Among them were firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and paramedics who ran toward the danger and made the ultimate sacrifice. Their courage and their loss, the loss their families carry with them today, will never be forgotten. Here in Putnam County, the impact of that day has always been deeply felt. We lost friends and neighbors, loved ones, many from our community, then responded to New York City in its time of need. And countless others answered the call to serve in the years that followed. In uniform at home and in uniform abroad. Their sacrifice continues to shape our nation's history today. 9/11 was not only a single day of tragedy, it was also the beginning of a new era. It not only changed our community, it led to wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, where men and women from our great nation once again answered the call to defend our country. Some never returned. Others came home carrying the wounds of war, and tonight we remember them too. For their service was part of the same story that began on that clear September morning that was much like today. In New York City, thousands of firefighters, police, construction workers, and volunteers labored for months at Ground Zero, clearing debris and searching for remains. They breathed in smoke and dust day after day, night after night. Many of them have since become sick, and some have died. And countless families continue to feel the consequences of their sacrifice. Here in Putnam County, we add 3 more names this year to our memorial. First responders who gave their lives in the years since 9/11. Their service and sacrifice are part of the same legacy that we honor tonight. And yet 9/11 is not only remembered in loss, it is remembered in the unity and resilience that followed. Strangers helped strangers, communities pulled together. People across this nation asked, "How can I serve?" That spirit of service lives on with us today. It lives in the way that we look at one another, in the way that we gather at this memorial each year to remember, and in the way we choose to support those who will still bear the weight of that day. Our veterans and first responders have carried forward the same spirit of service, often quietly and often at a great personal cost. They guard us, our families, and our communities today. And so it is our duty as a community to guard them in return. That responsibility takes many forms for all of us here. Standing beside the families of the fallen, ensuring the first responders know that they're not alone, and walking with veterans as they transition home from service. At my own organization, Guardian Revival, we call our veterans and first responders guardians. And our mission is to honor their service with connection, the support they need, and providing some hope. But it is not only our mission. Every church group, every civic organization, every school, and every neighbor who chooses compassion over indifference helps keep that promise alive. When we step forward together, we ensure that no one who has carried the weight of service ever carries it alone. That is how the spirit of 9/11 continues, not only in our memories, but in the daily choice to serve one another. And when we make that choice, we do more than honor the past. We carry forward the deepest lessons we can learn from 9/11. Let us reflect, not just as a day of tragedy, but as a testament to courage, resilience, and unity. It is the story of men and women who chose to serve and protect, who ran toward the dangers so that others could live. It is also the story of families and communities who have persevered with strength and love, carrying forward the promise that we will never forget. So tonight, let us honor the fallen by living out the values they embodied: courage, compassion, steadfast devotion to one another. May we carry forward their legacy not only in memory, but in how we serve and care for our community every day. Thank you for joining us this evening. May God bless the souls that we remember tonight. May He comfort their families, and may He continue to watch over our community and our nation.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Leonard. We will now light the candles.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine.
I would like to introduce General Eric Gross, who will read our roll call of heroes.
Thank you. Good evening.
We gather here this evening to remember the events of that fateful day 24 years ago. We pay homage to the loss and the sacrifices made on that day and on the many days since. We remember 184 souls lost at the Pentagon. 40 persons died in the fields of Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And we remember the 2,753 lost at the World Trade Center. The sacrifices also made by our military in the war on terror. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize our fellow Putnam County citizens with the roll call of heroes. Firefighter Christopher Blackwell, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter George Kane, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Police Officer Stephen Driscoll, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Police Department, we remember. David Lawrence William Fodor, who served in the highest tradition of Fiduciary Trust International, we remember. Firefighter Daniel Harlan, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter Thomas Kavakis, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter Robert Manera, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. And George Paris, who served in the highest tradition of Cantor Fitzgerald, we remember. In memory of those Putnam County residents who, while in the course of their duties and service, lost their lives in the aftermath of the September 11th attacks. Firefighter Edward Teachin, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Battalion Chief John Vaughn, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Battalion Chief Thomas Van Dorn, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter Glenn Bisogno, who served in the highest tradition of the Brewster Fire Department, we remember. Firefighter Thomas Kelly, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter Charles Flickinger, who served in the highest tradition of the Lake Carmel Fire Department, we remember. Inspector Donald Feeser, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Police Department, we remember. Lieutenant Thomas Roberts, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Fire Department, we remember. Detective Thomas Lyons, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Police Department, we remember. Commissioner Robert McMahon, who served in the highest tradition of the Putnam County Bureau of Emergency Services, we remember. Lieutenant John Viteri, who served in the highest tradition of the Larchmont Fire Department, we remember. Lieutenant Michael King, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Lieutenant John McCardle, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Police Department, we remember. Firefighter John McDonnell, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Firefighter Mark Seno, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. And sadly this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we add 3 heroes' names to our memorial. Firefighter Patrick Tarpey, who served in the highest tradition of the Fire Department of New York, we remember. Police Officer Ronald Vance, who served in the highest tradition of the New York City Police Department, we remember. Lieutenant David Rufo, who served in the highest tradition of the New York State Courts, we remember. We acknowledge members of the emergency services field who have died as a result of World Trade Center illnesses since our last gathering. From the Fire Department of New York, firefighters Thomas Ryan, Christopher McCormick, John Connolly, Anthony Mastrelli, Christopher Bach, Thomas Gavitt, Neil Gimple, Michael DiBenedetto, April Nyquist, Thomas Dunn, Brian Fitzgerald, Edward Stevens, Daniel McCauley, Christopher Revere, Robert O'Corn, and John McCann. EMT Michael Scotty Jr., EMS Lieutenants Anthony Coslino, Mark Stevens, and Pamela Hine. EMS Deputy Chief David Burke. Fire Marshals Ronald Mitchell and Cliff Krug. Lieutenants James Cooney, Patrick Ward, James Sweeney, Vincent McMahon. Captains Thomas LaBarbera, Thomas Tracy, Battalion Chief Daniel Coloy, and Eugene Kelty. Deputy Chief Nicholas Visconti, Auto Mechanic Richard Sarnes, Carpenter Frank Lianza. From the New York City Police Department, Detectives Clarence Ward, Kenneth Campbell, Bridget Sullivan. From the New York State Police, Senior Investigator John Carey and Trooper Stephen Baccato. From the Nassau County Police Department, Police Officer Philip Schifani. From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent Dennis Wagner. And from Homeland Security, Special Agent in Charge, Joseph Love. We continue our acknowledgement of those New York police officers, firefighters, and EMS who have made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty during the past year. Detective Islam of the New York City Police Department, firefighter Jason McClone of the East Branch Fire Department, Firefighter Mark Sidek of the West Colesville Fire Department, Firefighter George Snyder of the New York City Fire Department, Deputy Sheriff Callie Campbell of the Oswego County Sheriff's Department, Senior Office Specialist Louis Pepe of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Constable Shane Iyer of the Vienna Town Constable, and Firefighter Nicholas Morasco of the Yorkville Fire Department. We remember. We remember all of our military heroes, past and present, whose service and sacrifice have made our nation the greatest in the world. We want to especially remember all those who have fought and all those who have died in the war on terror. We remember. Tonight, we'd like to acknowledge the passing of retired Town of Kent Police Chief William Balzano and our beloved Putnam County Sheriff Kevin McConville, who dedicated his life for law enforcement and whose name will be added to our memorial next year on the 25th anniversary of September 11th. Thank you, God bless you all, and God bless America.
This evening, the people of Putnam County wish to present to the families of our heroes a flag of the United States of America, which was flown over the World Trade Center Memorial as a symbol of our appreciation for their loved ones' honorable and faithful service. Now we will have the presentation of the wreaths. Please rise.
Detail, hand salute.
Detail, head salute.
Detail, recover.
Detail, recover.
Please be seated.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Before the pipe band leads us to the conclusion of our ceremony, the Putnam Heroes Memorial thank you all for being with us this evening and celebrating the lives of our Putnam heroes. There are many folks involved in this ceremony, and the Putnam Heroes Memorial would like to thank the following: the Brewster Tribute Singers, Stephen P. Driscoll Memorial Pipe Band, Sergeant Joseph Baldanza, Radovich and Dean Music, Putnam Bureau of Emergency Services, Putnam County Civil Air Patrol, Putnam County Executive's Office, Putnam County Department of Public Works, Putnam County's Office of Information and Technology, Putnam County Sheriff's Department and Cadet Corps, the fire departments of Brewster, Carmel, Lake Carmel, and Mayapack, the Brewster Carmel Garden Club, the Carmel Ambulance Corps, the Carmel Police Department, the FOP Driscoll Memorial Lodge 704, Kent Police Department and the Cadet Corps, Knights of Columbus Council 6318, the Ladies Auxiliary Council 6318, New York City Firefighters of Hudson Valley, the New York State Police, and the Chabad of Putnam County. The Knights of Columbus will be hosting tea and coffee and cookies at the hall across the street for anybody that interested. Thank you.